Well, hello there, happily married woman. It is Dr. Siobhan here. I am fresh off an episode of the Made Marriage Show. Thank you for those of you who were able to catch that live broadcast. I will be sharing it in this group here in just a second. So you're going to see me in the same exact outfit because it was literally 5 minutes ago. But anyways, I wanted to pop in here because I had a live stream planned for earlier this morning that got a little bit derailed. So here I am waking up super early, for me at least, 5:30 this morning, get dressed, all set to go, preparing my notes for this live stream. And then what do I hear but my 3-year-old daughter? Mommy, 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 right? So for those of you with small kids, I'm sure like there are times when you hear them calling you and you sort of just wait, right? Which is what I did. I like waited. I was like, maybe she'll go back to sleep. Like this is very early for her. Maybe she'll go back to sleep. So I'm like super quiet. And then I just hear, mommy, mommy. Now ladies, why do they always call mommy? Like, why isn't it ever daddy? It's always mommy, right? So all of that to say that clearly I did not get to do a live stream this morning because I had a wonderful morning with my daughter very, very early. But I wanted to come on anyways. As you all know, this is my 21 days of live streams. And again, not all of them will be inside this group. So if you guys don't already follow and like my relatable business page, I want you to go ahead and make sure that you do that at the end of this broadcast, because more than likely tomorrow I'll actually be doing my live stream from that page. So make sure that you are associated with me there. I don't even know if I'm looking at the camera. I just got distracted by a ping on my Facebook right now. Anyways, so 4 ways waking up earlier can improve your marriage. And, I was reminded recently, there's another private group on Facebook that I'm a part of. I think it's called Rise and Shine. And it's all about encouraging us to wake up earlier. I've done many different iterations of waking up earlier. I don't know if many of you are familiar with the Miracle Morning. Strongly, highly recommend that as a practice. But I've done lots of different getting up early things, getting up early to complete a project. Actually, for my book, I woke up really, really early. I think I woke up every morning, 5 a.m. to finish that book. Getting up early, as an entrepreneur to start my day and get things in place. Getting up early, like there's 1,001 reasons to get up early. But sometimes it's really, really hard to do that, right? And so I am now recommitted as a result of being in that group and as a result of having a lot of things that I want to accomplish. Hi, Marianne. I'm now at a place where I'm like refocused and recommitted to getting up earlier. And as I have made that commitment to myself and I've been, using that practice, I realized that there's so many benefits, not only to us as individuals, but to our marriage. And so, of course, as a marriage coach, I want to come on here and share, another set of reasons why it might be a really good idea to get up earlier than you normally do. And one of those reasons why it's really good to get up earlier is that it first enables you to set the tone for the day. So again, I have small children and sometimes I am awakened by them crying. And so when you're met with the day, with the cries of a child, right, when you're still sleepy, it just doesn't give you a moment to like get yourself together. You like go into action mode. And so if you are able to develop this habit of getting up earlier, whatever earlier means to you, for me, the ideal time is 5 a.m. For you, it may be 6 a.m. For you, it may be 4 a.m. I'm not quite sure, but you know what would be earlier for you that would give you that margin, that would give you that extra time in your day to actually be able to greet the day the way that you want to, right? It's all a matter of like, will you open the door to the day with clarity, with peace, with intention of how you want the day to go? Or will you be like bombarded by the day overtaking you? And I think by being able to wake up earlier, you really give yourself to set your intention for the day, for you to set the tone for how you want your day to go. And as I've been sharing some of the principles of being a happily married wife, one of them is to set your intentions, to decide ahead of time how you want to be, how you want to respond, how you want things to go. And so by being able to wake up earlier and by being able to greet the day, you have that moment to say, like, how do I want this day to go? Like, how do I want to feel today? How do I want to show up to my life, to my marriage, to my children, to whatever experience you may confront in the day? And so by waking up earlier, you give yourself just a few moments to actually make that decision and to put a plan in place for it to happen. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is waking up earlier really enables you to incorporate a self-care practice. Another key ingredient to being a happily married woman is practicing self-care. And so what does that look like for you? What does it look like for you to take time out to yourself, to nourish yourself spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, socially, physically, whatever it is? Like, how can you carve out time for yourself to do that? A lot of times we get so busy in our day, we intend to do it, but the day just keeps getting away from us. Then it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. We're so exhausted that our self-care practice is going to bed. And that's all fine and good. Getting enough sleep is absolutely a self-care practice, but you need more, right? You already know that you need more to fill yourself up so that you can be in a better mood, so that you can exercise more patience, more compassion, more kindness, more forgiveness, whatever it is you're trying to do that you can't do because you're too overwhelmed, right? And so by waking up earlier, again, whatever earlier is for you, by waking up earlier, you give yourself some time, some dedicated time to have that self-care practice. For me, there is a meditation app that I listen to that I cannot say enough good things about. It's called Abide. I know it's definitely on the iPhone. I'm sure they have some comparable thing for non-Apple users, but it's called Abide, and it is a meditation and prayer app that has daily meditations. You can listen to them for 2, 5, 10, or 15 minutes. I always pick the 15 minutes. And I just have that quiet time to myself to commune with God. And that is my self-care practice. That is the first thing I try to do in the morning when I wake up. And so I encourage you to have some self-care routines that maybe you can start incorporating in the morning. Maybe it's reading, right? I love devotionals because I don't have time to read like a full chapter of a book sometimes. And so I love quick nuggets that you can just listen to, that you can consume, that you can just digest and let feed and nourish you for the day. And so I encourage that maybe you pick out a devotional that really works for you and that speaks to whatever you are experiencing in your life right now. If you haven't heard, I have a devotional. It is called Voices in Your Ear, New Conversations to Transform Your Mind and Renew Your Marriage. It is a great book that is broken down into 10 different essential parts of a healthy and happy marriage. And so in each section, you will get a daily affirmation, a daily declaration to sort of speak over your life, speak over your marriage, and to meditate and sort of let sort of yourself marinate in all throughout the day. So that is just one example of a devotional that you might want to use and incorporate in this self-care time earlier in the morning. The link for that book is associated with this post, so you can definitely check it out if that's something you might want to use. The third reason or way that waking up earlier can benefit your marriage is that it enables you to be more productive. And the reason this is important is because when you think about who we are as women, how busy we are, how much we cram onto our plate, we operate out of a pretty regular state of stress, of overwhelm, of anxiety for the next thing that we should be, could be, want to be doing. And so by waking up earlier, you give yourself more margin in your day to be productive. You can organize your time a little bit more effectively. You can get things accomplished before everyone is up rustling and bustling and vying for your attention. And I find that when I wake up early, you know, I have the self-care practice that I just mentioned, but I also have like one critical task that I absolutely want to get done. And when I'm able to do that, it's like a burden, a huge weight is lifted off of my shoulder. And by relieving that stress, it enables me to not get so cranky and angry with my husband when maybe he's not helping out as much as I would like for him to. Because guess what? I've done the big thing that I needed to do for the day. So I have a little bit more patience. I have a little bit more understanding. I'm not as like frazzled and going from place to place trying to figure out how I'm going to do all that I need to do. And so by waking up earlier and giving yourself this time to yourself, you then reduce the stress and strain and sort of conflict that you may be potentially having with your husband because you're so overwhelmed, and it's really not about him in the first place. It's just because you overcommit yourself to doing way too many things. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is by waking up earlier, it enables you to have more free time in the evening. And this was really important to me, although today it's sort of shot because I'm on Facebook Live for many minutes, way too many minutes. But one of the reasons that I wanted to start waking up earlier is because I actually wanted to try to do my Facebook Lives earlier. I wanted to get some business activities done earlier in the morning so that after the kids are bed, I have a little bit more free time to like give my husband my undivided attention. And so that's another way that waking up earlier can strengthen your marriage, that you get so much done earlier in the day that by the time, you know, the kids are in bed, by the time things are settled, by the time you've done everything you need to do, you actually have a few minutes before you need to go to bed because you've already done the things you needed to do earlier in the day. And that, I suggest, might be some great time for you and your husband to connect, for you to have some quality time, to just check in, to talk about your day, to watch a TV show together, to do something that brings you closer together as a couple. Okay, so again, to recap, the 4 ways waking up earlier can benefit your marriage is it helps you set the tone for the day, which again, being a happily married woman is all about being intentional about how you show up. So when you wake up earlier, you greet the day rather than the day overwhelming you, and you can make up your mind that, you know what, I'm going to practice patience today. I'm going to practice kindness today. I'm going to show an extra bit of love to my husband today. So it enables you to set those intentions for how you want to show up and be as a wife. Number 2 is it enables you to incorporate a self-care practice. When you are well, everything else in your life does better, right? Your relationships thrive. You thrive. You're just a happier person when you are full and you've taken care of yourself. Self-care practices, for me, prayer, meditation, devotional, those things. So make sure you can incorporate something like that into your morning. Number 3, it enables you to be more productive, which reduces your stress and hopefully leads to less conflict with your husband because you're so overwhelmed. That's number 3. And number 4 gives you more free time, frees you up to spend time together in the evening. Okay, so those are the 4 ways that waking up earlier, whatever earlier means to you, can benefit your marriage. All fine and good, right? You have every intention of waking up earlier now, I hope, right? How do you do it? How do you make it successful for you, right? It's fine in theory, but when that alarm clock goes off and you're still sleepy, what do you do? Here, just a few tips. First, set an alarm, right? Set an alarm and make a commitment ahead of time that when that alarm goes off, you're going to get up. So that means don't set it 15 minutes knowing that you're going to hit the snooze button for 3 rounds. No, wake up at exactly when you want to wake up. Set that alarm for when you want to wake up. Set it across the room. Whatever you have to do, make it some crazy, obnoxious sound that drives you like into a frenzy to wake up. That's number 1. Set an alarm. Test it out for a period of time. So when we make this commitment to waking up early, it might seem overwhelming, like there's no way I could possibly do that. Just set a small test period, maybe a week. Like for this week, I'm going to get up half an hour earlier. I'm going to get up an hour earlier. So set a small time frame to just test it out and see if it works for you. Number 3, have someone hold you accountable. There's nothing like having someone else that's maybe getting up at the same time you are, or someone that is going to be checking on you to make sure that you actually got up. So make a declaration, tell someone that that's what you're going to do, have them hold you accountable. Number 4, set yourself up for success the night before. So, you know, maybe if you have some free time right now, like put some things in place, get your clothes out, you know, pack the lunches, whatever you need to do so that when you wake up, you're not like frantically, oh my gosh, I need to do this, but set yourself up for success the night before? What's the 1, 2, or 3 things that you can do tonight so that you can wake up earlier tomorrow and not be so overwhelmed? Make incremental shifts is another tip that I'll suggest. So, maybe it's just waking up 15 minutes early, and that's amazing. Maybe it's half an hour for you. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Whatever is going to not feel so overwhelming that you have a reasonable expectation and possibility of actually implementing, that's what you should pick. Like, don't make this huge leap of trying to wake up an hour and a half earlier if that's completely unrealistic to you. And then the other thing is I always try to find a way to make things fun. I sort of feel like if you're not having fun, like, why even do it? And so for me, when I think about waking up early, it's like, what is it that I'm going to wake up and be super excited about? For me, for sure, it's knowing that I'm going to get that 15-minute meditation in before the children wake up. Fingers crossed, right? I have to admit, this morning it was kind of my own fault. I woke up only 30 minutes earlier rather than the hour earlier that I intended to. So, what is going to get you up out of bed that you're going to be so excited to race to do? That when that alarm goes off, you're like, yep, I'm ready because I'm so excited to do this activity, or this is so important to me, right? It may not be the most exciting thing, but if you have such a high value on its importance in your life and the benefits that you will experience as a result, then that should be your motivation for getting out of the bed, okay? So those are the tips. Set an alarm, test getting up earlier, out for just a short period of time, have someone hold you accountable, set yourself up for success the night before, that's a tongue twister, make incremental shifts, and include something really important or really exciting as part of that getting up early, okay? That's what I have for you. I hope that it has been helpful. Let me know what you're going to do, right? Let me know, Siobhan, at this date, I'm going to get up 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, and this is what I'm going to do. So share with me what your plan is, post it in the comments, and I'd love to check in to see how you do. Thank you for tuning in. It's been my honor and pleasure to be with you for this little live stream. And make sure you like my Relatable business page if you have not done that already. So that is your other piece of homework. As soon as this is over, click on over to Relatable. Just Google it in the Facebook terms, Relatable. Find my business page. Make sure you like it, follow it, and turn the notifications on, because Facebook sometimes acts real funny and they don't let things in your newsfeed if they don't think you're really interested in it. So it's very important that you turn the notifications on and that you like the posts. That sort of sends a message to Facebook that you actually care about the content. Otherwise, they're like, no, you got too much going on your newsfeed. We're not showing you these posts. And the same goes for in this group too. So make sure that you at least like a post. That way you can continue to let Facebook know that you are interested in the content that I'm sharing and that you want to receive it. So those are my tips for you, my Facebook tips. That was an added bonus to this conversation. But thank you for tuning in. I will be back with you tomorrow on that Relatable business page. So make sure you catch me over there, right? I can't keep all the love only in here. I got to share myself with the rest of the world. So you'll catch my live stream there. I don't know what time it's going to be because I got kids and they're very unpredictable. But I will be there sometime tomorrow before midnight. And I hope that you will catch my live stream there. Have an incredible evening and an early morning. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Bye.